Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to the MF kit build, taking a great kit guitar, I know that because we made it, and making it awesome. Hopefully. There is always a 5% chance of total and utter catastrophic failure, and that is why you watch my videos. So, please enjoy the build. Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to a new build series. I am going to take a kit guitar and I'm going to make it awesome. I'm going to try and make it awesome. We did a series many years ago called Taking a Cheap Kit Guitar and Making It Great. And many thousands of people have seen that series, even though it's very dated now. But we have since started making our own kit guitars and they are really good. I'm slightly biased. I want you to buy them, of course, but they are. And I have wanted to make this video for a while now, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. This is the MF kit guitar, single cutaway, inspired by, well, you know what it's inspired by. And despite the fact that I absolutely love instruments of this design, well, the point of this video is to take this fairly traditional instrument and show just how insane I am. No, it's to show what can be achieved using a basic kit. And essentially, the argument honestly was, with this idea that I have, whether I just go and make a full custom shop or master build instrument from scratch using all of these ideas and just go for it. But it's more of a challenge and more fun and more interesting, I think, to do this with a kit. And I'm currently feeling a little bit cyberpunk. All right, I am going to, first of all, show you the bass instrument, the kit guitar with which I'm going to try and create something incredible. And I need to stop saying that. It sounds a little bit arrogant. Okay, I'm going to try and create something incredible. And then we're going to have a little bit of a design sesh. This is pretty much how one of our kit guitars comes to you, at least of this model. Ebony fretboard. This one has a little bit of flaming in it. The mother of pearl inlays are about 2 mil thick. It's all exactly as you would expect it to be. And although we have an F-style neck pocket there instead. And it comes, you could put this thing together as is, get some stains, there we go, focus, and some guitar finishing oil, etc. And you've got yourself an instrument. Or you could be a little bit adventurous and use this as a base from which to just, have fun. Okay, this is going to change, this is going to morph and move and adjust a little bit as the build goes on. But there are some things that are not. So we're talking cyberpunk, we're talking circuits and diagrams and lights and, cool stuff. But something that really annoys me is when people make, for example, a steampunk guitar with no purpose. And, well, I'm feeling the need for soundholes. The problem is, and so a little bit of weight release. This isn't particularly heavy for a guitar of this type, but it does need a little bit of weight relief. So I'm going to cut it in half. Now I need to know exactly where my bridge will be. So we have a bridge. The brake angle and everything is already built in. We've got 2 or 3 mil to spare, which is ideal. And I'm looking at the string line and double checking that it goes, well, where I need it to, really. That's pretty much bang on center. Center line helps as well. Yep, that will do. So we're bang on the scale length there, 628, with room to go back and forward a little bit. This is on 630, which is a couple of mil longer because obviously we've got a compensated scale length. Oh, actually 632 actually. Perfect. I have a drill bit that's the same size as the bridge holes, which goes straight down and marks out the position. And that is where my bridge is going to go. And now that I've made permanent holes in the top and lost my bridge in the pickup cavity, I'm going to double check for the 5th time. So our scale length is 628. I am here on 629 with a little bit of movement back and a lot of movement, forward, and then a lot of movement back. The center of the saddle, which is where the string will be, lines up nicely down the neck, so nothing's moved. On the other side, at the center, it's 630, so 2 mil back from the nominal scale length, and the center of the saddle is also, I'm not measuring this, but that's a little bit in because this is the center of the string, so a fatter string, and yeah, that works out rather lovely. So there we go. I'm happy with that. That is marked out. It is good, and I'm actually going to, now that I'm here, drill it for one of these ferrules. Now, the reason why we don't have bridge holes pre-drilled on these kits is because, well, people like me and you, we don't necessarily want a standard tunematic. In fact, what is a standard tunematic? They all differ slightly, if not in spacing, then in fittings and ferrules and things. So we leave it blank so that you can mark it out yourself and do what you want. If you want a Bigsby, go for a Bigsby. If you want a tunematic and tailpiece, or a tunematic and through body stringing, which is what I'm going to do on this one. The option is there for you. So, yeah, choose. Never assume. I know what this ferrule is. I have installed them before. But I've just confirmed to myself 7 millimeters. So I'm going to go with a 6.5 mil drill bit. Now, pillar drills are better and more stable, especially when doing this sort of job, but not absolutely essential. Throughout this build, as much as possible, I'm going to avoid using the larger machines if I can help it. I'm going to use hand drills, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to need to use a router at all, actually. Hand drills and chisels and the like. Apart from when I cut the guitar in half, because I am going to need a bandsaw for that. Anyway, this is a relatively short, shallow hole. It's a short hole. And I'm fairly good at drilling straight. So here we go. Is it in the right place or not? I triple checked it 5 times, I'm sure. So that's definitely deep enough. Quick depth stop, put a drill bit in there, put your finger on the bottom, and that's how deep it is. Whoop. And I've got room. Now, when you start a cut, go slow to avoid tear out. fairly deep. I'll go a little bit deeper. There we go. So I've just gone through the top. Now, the reason I do that is obviously we've got, well, when that's flat down, we need to have enough room for all of the thread. And that is there. Little hand countersink. That's probably going to be sanded out at a later date anyway, but yeah. So. Now that's all in the right place. What I need to do is work out and draw out where I want the 3-body stringing to go, which will actually need a pillar drill. That I'm not doing by hand. Calipers, the center of each of these is also the position where the string needs to be. And that's all well and good. I have a center line which is barely visible. So, just gonna eyeball it on the center line. This guitar is already sanded to a fairly good, if not final finish. It's pretty damn close. So I don't want to dent it too much. I've got that. I'm gonna do the same thing further along because I do want this to be parallel to my center line. And then very lightly join the lines. Okay, so we have that. I want the 3-body stringing to be longer on the bass side, shorter on the treble, and traditionally as well, you have the B and the E sort of kink back, which I think we're going to do as well. And I can basically just eyeball this really. So let's go back. And we'll go back 10 mil. So the spacing, the string to string spacing is 10 mil. So I'll go 10 mil back, and then essentially we'll have ferrules there going all the way through. Double check, triple check. Be absolutely certain you are happy with all things before you drill a hole or make a mark that will be there forever. So once I've found the bridge, put that in, and then I'm eyeballing. That all looks fine. Now this edge of the ruler is pretending to be a string. I've got it roughly in the right position for the nut, bang in the center of the saddle there. The bridge is in the right place, and those two should line up. And they do. Beautiful. Before I do any drilling here, I'm going to carry on marking out the rest of the design. So, well, I'm not entirely sure where I want to go now. We've got this little knot here. I want to go right through the center of that to get rid of it. So that's parallel to the center line. We're going to have angles, circuit diagram style angles. See, now this is the problem. I've marked that out as if it was just a normal guitar. I could have set it up so it was parallel to that, so less of an extreme angle, but I wanted a little bit more tension on the bass than I would otherwise have had. However, I now want to draw an angle from here to here, that angle being, what, 15 degrees or something? That looks a little bit weird if it's next to a 45-degree angle. So I need to change that. This is computery. Computers are precise, and it would be 45 degrees because that's, oh, it's an easy. Well, actually, we'll do these first then. Okay, move the bridge. I will use that as my center point. See what this looks like, because, well, design is part of it. Design is definitely part of it, but functionality is another. So that would go to there, and then, and now you see why I didn't drill these. See, that space there now looks completely wrong. That needs to be back here, really. So you see, I eyeballed that. Shouldn't have done that. It needs to be back there. And that gives us a 45. There we go. Okay, so that is, if this was just a guitar, that would look a little bit weird. Just a guitar. If that was the only thing we had going on there, that would look a little bit strange. But now, this in. Okay, precision in all things. Let's get a sharper pencil. Oh, I want to find out where the halfway point is in here. So that's halfway between those, thereabouts. And that is where I want that line to diverge. Okay, now what's happening is at a later date, we're going to run a circuit diagram. So the switch, for example, has got an earth and then a bunch of wires going. Those wires are, there's going to be a visual representation of those wires going down the front of the guitar to the pots, and the whole wiring diagram is going to be on the top of the guitar essentially, as if it was a circuit board. So I need to, when I'm designing this cut, I need to make sure that I've got room for those wires to go where I want them to go. Being at the halfway point here, I do. So they're going to go doom, doom, doom. So I'll have wires on that side. And yeah, it'll be all nice and attractive. Okay, I don't want that line going through because I do want my wires to go here. I also kind of just want to end that there. Yeah, I think that was one kink too many. Okay, so yeah, we have a line there. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to have a second line almost parallel but going out to here, widening up as we go. We'll make it 15 mil. And then we'll double it to 30 mil. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't want the hard edges here. I want to put a bevel. And that bevel I want to make slight. I'm going to use that essentially to adjust the shape of the guitar. Now we're going to have sound holes here. This is going to be cut away and then hollowed out. And then I want to have hexagonal sound holes going down and not going in square. I want them going in at an angle, like pointing, yeah. So what I'm going to do is make let's play with this. So I'm moving my finger, making it wider as I go. And this is going to chop the Ooh, I tried to pick it up by a neck that wasn't glued in. Okay, this is going to chop the mahogany and the maple in half, and then I'm going to carve through that. Now, this line doesn't want to go all the way there. For one, we've got a cavity back there that we don't want to really go into. For two, oh, I'm having too much fun. That's 30 mil. Let's go another 30 mil. There we go. So that carve is going to be a physical carve, and then stop at an angle there, and maybe chop it in half. Again, no, do a quarter. So 7.5 mil in. Same sort of thing. There we go. Okay, now something I am also going to play with, or change, or modify, is the pickup surrounds, or the pickup covers at least. I'm probably going to make a custom pair of pickup covers, and those are going to go, they're going to wrap over the end of the pickups somehow, I think. So essentially this area is off limits. I can't have that carve go into there. Could be sort of hexagon. Donk, donk, donk. We'll see. We'll leave that for now. Huh. I could have just done that. Fool. Okay. Well, I'm liking the look of this so far. I think this bevel is too big, because that is going to cut quite deeply into the mahogany. So let's get rid of that and make it a little bit smaller. There you go. That's a much more subtle carve there. Okay, so these lines here, they're going to be physical. They're going to be a physical neon something. Edge light. Yeah. It's pretty close to being halfway, actually. I'm going to move that line. Where those point, that point should be halfway in the line. So we'll move that, move everything over a couple of mil. These sorts of things are pretty subliminal, to be frank, but taken as a whole, work really well. What I don't know how I'm going to do is cut that. Bandsaw isn't going to be able to turn cleanly enough. Bandsaw's not going to be able to do that. This is almost enough to be getting on with, to be honest. Thank you for watching this kit build. I'm trying to take a fairly generic, if well-made kit guitar, and I'm trying to make it phenomenal, and in the same process entertain and elucidate you. The epistemological lore of guitar building is giant and huge, and I want to share as much of that with you as humanly possible through the medium of dance. Come back for the next video soon. Click like and subscribe and support our Patreon, because we need liquid refreshment. That's what I need right now. See you later. Goodbye.